The Consumer Price Index in Canada was up 3.4% in April, compared to last year when prices dropped due to the pandemic. This year over year inflation is set to be the fastest pace since May 2011, according to Statistics Canada. Prices increased in almost every major sector on a year over year basis at a rate that economists say is faster than expected. The price of gasoline increased by 62.5%, which is the biggest increase on record for the commodity. Although every province experienced this price increase, prices in Atlantic Canada were generally higher because of the region's use of furnace fuel oil. So, what does all of this mean for our overall economy as we navigate out of the pandemic? And most importantly, what does this mean for Canadian wallets? Well, joining us now to help us better understand inflation is Brendan Caldwell, Director of Caldwell Securities Ltd. Always great having you on Forum Daily, Brendan. Welcome back.
Thank you, Nima. Good to hear your voice.
So let's start by discussing what inflation is, Brendan, and what it means.
Well, inflation can take many forms. What we've seen over the last year up until this point is an increase in the price of assets, whether it's property or stock markets or French wine or Group of Seven paintings. Those assets, as stores of value, have all gone up in value. So there's been an increase in the price of those investments. That's what we've seen to this point. Now, what I heard you talking about a moment ago was what most people think of as inflation, which is the price of goods and services. How much does it cost to buy that good, attain that service? What's the price of that, and how are those prices moving? That's the rate of inflation.
So what would you say are the short-term and long-term effects of inflation?
Well, some inflation is always good. It beats deflation, which is inflation is the prices going up, and deflation is the prices going down. Inflation is better in moderation, because if you think something's going to be more expensive tomorrow than it is today, you're going to buy it today, and then the person who buys from you will buy it today, and the economy moves along. In a deflationary world, it's not as great and that's what we saw last year, and we see during recessions and depressions. If you think something's going to be cheaper tomorrow, you're going to wait till tomorrow to buy it. And as we know, tomorrow never comes. So inflation in moderation is good. The question now, coming out of the pandemic, is whether this inflation is just a bounce back to normal, whatever normal looks like, or whether it's going to be some sort of runaway inflation that of the two of us, I'm the only one that's vaguely old enough to remember.
So, Brendan, I guess the big question here is how can Canadian consumers deal or prepare for these rising prices?
Well, it is difficult for consumers. Whether the price continues to go up, whether this 3.4% is just a blip or whether it's an ongoing thing remains to be seen. If I had to guess, it's probably going to be an ongoing thing because in the short term, demand is coming back. The world is opening up. It's going to be 30 degrees apparently in Ontario tomorrow or next week. So it'll be, the demand is going to be there, but the supply, the actual ability to provide those goods and services are going to be constrained and may be constrained for a while. So if you have greater demand than you have supply, the prices are likely to go higher. So from an investment point of view, I think probably the best way to protect oneself is to have investments that also have the capacity to go up, that have the capacity to increase the amount of income that they pay. For example, dividends from stocks rise as corporate profits rise. So in a way, they're somewhat indexed to inflation. So that's an approach that investors can take.
Now, we've got just over a minute left, Brendan, but interest rates are very low right now. But there's always been talk since the 1930s that the government was to blame for causing the Great Depression because they raised interest rates. So could you see something like this happening again as we come out of this historic pandemic?
Well, I think the government is a very different government than the one we had 90 odd years ago during the Great Depression, in that governments then were very reticent to run debts. They took fiscal prudence seriously. We do something different nowadays. So I think the governments are going to be slow to turn off the money supply, and they're also going to be slow to raise interest rates, because raising interest rates is now raising the amount that it costs the governments themselves to borrow. So by raising rates, they're costing themselves more. So I think you'll see interest rates remain lower than they probably should be if we see a strong inflation number. There's going to be something of a lag. So inflation will go up well ahead of interest rates, in my view.